Ready when you are.
Good morning, everyone. I'd like to call the Thursday, July 31st meeting of the Albany Parking Authority to order. I appreciate everybody being here this morning. And the board members, I'd like to move the minutes and have a chance to review the minutes from the last meeting. Any questions, concerns, changes? Favor of adopting the minutes? Yes. Thank you. Move right to the report of finance.
Thank you. Finance Committee met on July 25th. And the June financial statement summary is as follows. In June, total revenue amounted to $777,184, while total expenses were $700,048,905, leading to a net income of $28,278. Expenses in June were high due to the wayfinding sign payment of $111,000 and our final insurance payment of $80,000. Daily garage and lot revenues continue to trend above budget projections. Top events in June were Chris Stapleton and the Beach Boys, Boys Like Girls Alive at 5 emo night. Mid-year review, all revenue streams are above 50% except EV charging, while our expenses are at 50%. And finally, the review of our investment portfolio. The debt service account has a balance of $4,713 useful funds in this account to cover our debt service payment previously. Short-term account has a balance of $563,000. Long-term account has a balance of $726,000, and the EV charger account has a balance of $29,000. Thank you very much. That was.
Is everything as expected?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Next. Go right on.
Do we actually go through all this, even though we went through the finance committee? Or
No, you can go to enforcement.
Yeah, any questions, concerns on any information in the packet? The report? How's the wayfinding being received?
well, the signs are all installed. They have some minor repairs to do. I think it's they had to hand mix some concrete to cap off their actual truck and poured concrete. And I think they just got to go around to about probably 50 sites and fix that, but the signs themselves look good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. All right, enforcement numbers?
Enforcement numbers for June, we pretty much mirrored last 2024's numbers in June. We had a tough, I wouldn't say a tough quarter, but we had a tough May. We're about $50,000 short in the quarter in May because of some employee shortages, and we had an issue with one of the LPRs as well as a vehicle. But then in June, you could see it recover pretty quick once we fix those items. And currently, we're just down one PSO, one TSA, and the vehicles are all up and running.
What kind of impact does it drop like that?
Not much, because we make up for it pretty quick in other months. So in last year's trends, you can see like there's a drop off, and you can tell that's probably what the problem was, and then we recover and then some for the most part. So we're still on track to meet our internal goal of 4.8 for the city.
It's just a question of, when you say 50,000, what is that? A big number?
Not really. It's, when I start to really ask questions is when we start to hit over $100,000. That's when we're like, hey, what's going on? How short are we? Are we missing areas? That sort of thing. Are they enforcing meters properly? Like that kind of.
Excellent. Okay.
I have a question. So when that happens, if like we're down in the LPR system, do the the parking attendants, like, do they change sort of the strategy on how they approach? What areas we hit or don't?
So then they're just on foot,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, and that goes to show you how important the LPRs are, because before we had them, it was, it's night and day. It's incredible.
Do they have to chalk the tires then?
They do still have to do timing manually through their,
But they don't with the LPRs.
the LPR is automatically chalked for them.
Right, so
Yeah.
there's a possibility that
There's an error,
they don't
yeah,
know what they're doing.
human errors are,
Yeah.
for sure, yeah.
Do you know anything about this is not our business. Do you know anything about my question specifically is, why does the Brighter Choice School not have a school slow down camera? And why is it, they're not every school has one of those school,
That is a good question,
they don't,
yeah,
it's random.
I didn't know
I think they select it by like speed data, traffic.
Yeah, so
volume.
they're both on Central Avenue. And nobody goes to St. Catherine's or whatever it is, the Catholic one, because I think it's closed. And the one where everybody goes, they don't have
What's the second?
isn't, looking at It's just that's just a
that.
curiosity.
Yeah, I don't know, but I can probably find out for you if you'd like.
Yeah, and the thing is not uniform.
Mhm.
Some schools are closed and you don't get a ticket, and some are open at the same time. So there's no way of knowing.
Yeah. Hmm.
Just slow down.
You know, I do. I drive 20 miles an hour in the city and pisses everybody off. I drive into Mr. Magoo.
But it is interesting, because you mentioned the school on Central Avenue, you drive right by, you don't go to school there necessarily.
And you get $50.
That camera goes off like crazy when
Yeah.
you drive on there, and so I wonder, once they do this for a while and start looking at the data, if they're gonna make some adjustments in signage or something different, because the
That's
intent is
all.
to make it safer, and the intent isn't to give everybody a ticket for them.
I wonder if it's because nobody in that school, do they actually have a huge presence on Central Avenue?
Oh,
Or is
my
it
God,
all in the
yes.
back? I thought it was all in the back.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
which, the parochial school is all in the back.
It's all in the back, and the
Yeah.
other school's all on Central Avenue.
Oh,
Yeah, the
okay.
bus pulls up right in front of the school.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's weird.
and kids all over the place.
It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
They're gonna at some point have to go back and look and see what impact this is having.
I can ask for you, Bill, for sure.
That'd be
There
cool.
you go.
Yeah,
Thank you.
You got it.
Sorry to interrupt.
no, that's fine. That's all I have for enforcement. I don't think any other questions.
Any questions? Thank you. Communication.
Uh,
Resolution.
yeah.
Take it away.
Resolutions for sign.
Yep, so the first one is ratifying the union agreement. So we were able to talk with the city about raising enforcement wages. We got the base starting pay up to $19 from $17.43. So it's a big step. They didn't really have to do it. It's in the middle of the contract. The only other item we eliminated was this step 3 grievance procedure, which I think was a holdover from when they were with the police. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense now, but the general idea of it was there was a representative from the union, the city, and the APA. If there were ever a grievance that got to a third step, that would now be eliminated.
What happens now? What's
This
the
step
change?
would end at step 2, which would be a meeting with the executive director, which would be Sean.
Yep. Okay.
And
And
this
is a change. Who wanted
overwhelmingly,
this change?
We did.
this was kind of everyone. And
Everyone?
Yeah, this
Yes.
was because, the PSO salaries were kind of pre-pandemic, numbers.
Right.
And, we wanted to get them up to speed.
Oh, I don't mean that. I mean the step
Oh.
3.
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Get rid of,
the
eliminate
city, us, and
Yeah.
the union was
All
somewhat
agreed that
similar.
we all-
Yes.
Kind of what I was getting at.
Uh-huh.
we all like it.
And I know we talked about raising the wages
Yep.
before. I know that's certainly appropriate. We were shooting for a higher number, weren't
We were.
but we're happy, or people are happy that we got. I mean, it's a fair increase.
Yeah, so it's also mid-year, and then in the start of the new year, they get an extra 50-cent raise as well. So we'll start at 19.50 at the beginning of next year.
Okay, good. Good. Well done.
Thank you.
So we need to adopt a resolution related to that?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Could I get a motion to adopt resolution 2025-0701? Please, thank you.
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. The resolution passes. Second, learn a lot.
Yeah, so this is to enter into the lease agreement for the Lawrence Street lot in the warehouse district. I believe the lease agreement was for $2,500 a month.
Yep. So the initial term is 1 year, it's $2,500 a month. And then there are two 5-year options on top of that, and they're on us. So if it's doing successfully and we want to renew for more terms, we have that option under the agreement. I believe it's 2.5% raises per year after that. So, not stacking at $2,500.
Did it
So we'll
get
see how-
through, common council?
It is in the final stage of common council. It made it through the planning committee and now is at the full common council. Their meeting is August 4th, I believe.
Are we
So,
sure it's on the agenda?
yes,
Yeah, it was supposed to be on the last agenda,
I know.
and yeah,
They-
so
yes.
we're sure it's on there now.
Any other questions? Can I get a motion then to approve resolution 025-0702?
So moved.
Thank you. Second.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Yes, thank you all. We'll keep you posted on how that is doing throughout the year.
Have to believe that's gonna be a help all the way.
I think it'll be a help. I just, I'm just hoping there's usage for us to at least break even the first year. I mean, even if it was a small loss, it's still okay, but, because it gives us a potential that we're gonna grow, but, so yeah, we're hoping it's gonna be great.
There's some additional signage and whatnot.
Yeah, we'll put some,
That'll make a difference.
yeah, I mean,
You're heading that way, you're going out or whatever, you go by and you're gonna pass that turn before you get to a number of the restaurants. So if there's a
Yeah.
public parking sign.
Yep.
and luckily there's not a whole lot. The lot is pretty much turnkey, so, we don't have to do a whole lot of construction in there at all. Asphalt looks good. There's still striping in there, that sort of thing. We might have to do something with ADA, maybe a little better, but other than that,
Good.
yeah.
Okay, new business.
Yes, sir. So our repair preventive maintenance, our 2025 repairs are due to mobilize on the 7th of August. The new entrance was delayed, but I am happy to report that the engineer had approved the recent shop drawings for the new entry, which is a good sign that it is going to happen this year. And I think it's kind of lucky for us that it happened this way because of the CrossFit Games coming up tomorrow. So we won't have any restrictions in the garage for that kind of flow. So I think that's good.
I think it's gonna be a sizable event. They're
Yeah,
putting
it's supposed to be.
stickers up on the windows and they're just all running all around.
They're expecting it to be like an NCAA event. I'm not so sure, but I mean, I'll be happy if it is. But,
Yeah, no, sure.
But we're ready for whatever gets thrown at us.
Good.
And the public sculpture project is delayed due to the construction of the Green Hudson Garage. Kevin, how long of a delay were we thinking?
Once we know the construction's gonna actually begin, we're gonna put the RFP out,
Great.
so. We're on their timeline for us releasing it at this point. So if install won't happen until next year, just because by the
Yeah.
time they're done, it'll be winter, so it needs to go on the ground this spring.
And that's actually okay because
Yeah.
we're trying to get the little park on the side in order to, so the sculpture would be going in that park, so it's actually fine.
We're gonna make sure all the board members know well in advance, they've done the kind of this stuff.
Yes, sir,
Just put note.
absolutely.
That's great, okay. Review and feedback of for strategic plan.
All right,
Did you need any action on the RFPs or just?
I did not know, that's just informative.
Okay.
And if anybody had any questions about it. Great. So the review of the feedback, for the strategic plan, was the board able to, review the strategic plan and comments, questions?
What's the timing on adopting the plan?
On adopting it?
When do you want it in place?
I think we wanted it in place, what, around budget time, like around, doesn't matter really.
It doesn't
for
really
this,
matter.
yeah.
It can
for
be
this
in
year.
place whenever, I mean, it's the first planning document that's supposed to precede the operating and capital budgets, because it's supposed to
Right.
guide your decision making on those, but so whenever the board is ready to
Yeah.
approve it.
So when the budget is calendar year?
Yeah.
Right, so we want to get this done before the end of the year.
It would be ideal, I would say.
Okay. I'm gonna propose that, we table this for this meeting, bring it up at the next meeting.
Sure.
In the meantime, you get a call together, and do it as a board. That's on me, I should. Apologize. Stephanie, is that something you can help us with? Thank you. Okay. Active pass report.
Active pass report. So for, the month of June, we were +9 passes. Which, garage was that at, Kevin?
It was spread across all
That
three
was
of them.
cross border, yeah, a couple peppered in.
Yep.
So, you know, for the month of May, we had a -12. So not a bad recovery.
And it's a funny thing too, like, how do you track, how do you project, you know, you really can't.
Yeah,
right?
especially with the one-offs. it's-
Yeah.
it's like-
And
Yeah.
It's always a bulk out of a corporate account that like, it just takes a chunk out and then we have to rebuild it through individual.
Right.
So yeah, nothing very exciting in the active pass report this month.
I guess that's okay.
Yeah. Let's see. So are you okay with moving on to the quarterly
Please.
return report? Kevin?
Yep. There we go. So we've been recovering pretty much all year on active passes since the beginning of the year due to a number of corporate cancellations in the first quarter. We've done a very good job of recovering a good chunk of that. Currently, we have 2,215 active passes across all locations. We're only down at the end of last month, 10 units from the beginning of the year, which is a fantastic recovery. Again, the bulk of that descent is corporate cancellations, but we have recovered and we are up over end of last year, 24% in individual passes, which are our highest price pass. So we're recovering and we're getting it back at a better rate on the pass, which is what we're targeting at this point. Feedback's been from most businesses that they are no longer offering parking and they're leaving it to their employees. This includes the state as well and other government organizations that they're at this point they're leaving it up to their employees if they wish to purchase monthly parking and where they want to get it from. So that's why we're seeing that steady increase in individual passes.
Are they still giving them an allowance?
So you can get parking from the state still today. But the allotments for like state locations
Yeah.
aren't there. So depending on the building you're in and which agency, it's whether the agency has a agreement with, it's whether OGS has an agreement with a third-party parking vendor, us, for your agency. So Homes and Community Renewal, which is over there, that agency has an agreement with us through OGS so OGS bills the employee and the money goes in a circle. SUNY Research does not have that same thing. So then it's up to the people who work in SUNY Research to get their own parking. So it's all across, no agency has the same exact plan in place.
Is there any plan to open that lot that's shut down out by the soccer field?
The state lot, no.
Have we had conversations with the other agencies about creating that partnership like we have with OG?
We wouldn't be able to have, it's all through OGS.
The Research Foundation is not
Research Foundation is not OGS, yes, but
And then I understand, but like.
yeah,
I know, so like when I was, at least like at the Senate, like if you needed childcare, they had recommendations on.
Yeah.
You know,
they recommend us. They all know that we're like, if you're downtown, they're basically like, you can get a parking pass with us. The county might have one, or you can pay to park somewhere else. So they do, that's how we get everyone, all the, basically Montana has communications with a lot of the facility managers at all the agency buildings and at the SUNY building and at the research building there. And we're on their list as like, there's 2 garages here, there's a garage down there. So we are the one that they recommend. But it's not a bulk purchase, a bulk multi-year contract that we have with like for HCR or OGS. And they seem to be leaning away from that. So I've been keeping an eye on that. But yeah.
But the state's predicting a pretty sizable.
Yes.
Total revenue next year.
Yes. There's a lot going on the backside with their budget right now. Yep. But yep, so that's doing good. So last month we did sell 34 passes. We had 27 losses, which accounts for the 9 plus that we had. All in all, so new sales and lost sales, we lost 3,500 of recurring revenue, but gained 4,400 of recurring revenue. Events and weekends still continues to do well. Last month was actually, we were slightly above previous year, which is very good to see. We struggled the first quarter of the year. It was just lack of booking from the 2 larger venues. Hoping to see for August, because of the CrossFit Games, a sizable increase. We are planning on being below the previous year. That's due to no NCAA and no fish. We have $120,000 of revenue that we've got from those 2 events alone. But let's see here. So yeah, last month we did just under 2% increase in events. In May, we did about 13% above the previous year, with down in April though. So we're bringing it back up the next month. We expect to be flat in July, and we expect to see growth in August. That's about it. And as Sean said previously, and Bill said, Chris Stapleton with our largest event last month at the arena, that was a complete sellout. We have also been tracking for smaller events. We did much better this year on Alive at 5 than we had done in the past 2 years. It had a stronger lineup this year. I would not accredit that to it being the 2 shows that were on Broadway. We did slightly better, but both of those shows were better headliners. And we've also seen a nice little pickup at the Twilight Market every year. We do about 10% growth every year on that. We're doing about $1,200 a Twilight Market, which is fantastic for a small event like that in the square.
So now are they officially using the new park for Alive at 5?
Live at 5's over. They got 2 events there this year.
No, I mean, is it official now? That's gonna be, no,
They haven't said it was gonna be.
Yeah.
didn't work out.
Well, it was a lot of rain.
Yep.
I wouldn't say that I think it would work out. And the mayor asked me if, I thought it was still, a good place to have it, for us. And, I don't think it makes much of a difference for us if it's on Broadway or if it's, in the reserve, because people still use Riverfront Garage either way. It's still busy either way, but I think by having it on Broadway, it does increase Quackenbush's numbers, in that sense, but we don't have enough data to back it up because they only had it twice this year.
So a combination of rushing, well, I shouldn't say, but the timing of getting it done and then rain, so they really don't know. It's
Right.
long term.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if next year if Dorsey keeps it on Broadway.
Where's the rain site?
It's under the bridge.
Under the bridge.
Yeah.
At the boat launch. Yeah.
By the boat.
Yep.
I mean, you should have it downtown, I think.
I think for the other businesses, it's important to have it
Yeah.
downtown.
Yeah.
Like I said, it doesn't impact us a whole lot, if they have it in the preserve or not, but I mean, for like the bars and stuff, I think it would be great.
Yeah, we did see it. There was a number of bars taking advantage of having, when it was downtown, taking advantage of that.
Sure.
So just by moving it just that few 100 yards,
Yeah,
Yeah,
just because everything's so accessible over here. I mean, and when they're in the preserve, they have some tents and stuff like that, but the local businesses,
don't see any.
don't see any of them. And, Shane Spillinger was pretty vocal about that at a meeting before.
Who's he?
He's one of the businesses. He owns, Ophelia's, and his family had owned, a couple of, I don't know if it was the Bayou and something else downtown when Bayou was still here.
Yeah.
But he has a big presence down here, and a couple other businesses were vocal as well, and the mayor decided to make the move, and
So, Saturday before the little television thing, I came down to see the mural and there was an event going on.
that would have been Twilight Market.
So what are the hours for Twilight Market?
It is 5 to 9 on Saturdays. Second Saturday of every month.
Okay. Wasn't something else? I don't think I was down here at 5 o'clock.
could have been a mural tour. I thought I
People
saw
were
Tony doing that.
Were there booths and stuff, Stefan?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been Twilight Market.
Okay.
Yeah, they might set up earlier. I mean, they have the space, the whole, like, for set up the whole day, but the official hours of it, I believe.
Well attended.
Yes, it's very well attended.
I went Twilight Market.
Yes,
Pretty successful.
they get, people come from not regional, they come out of state.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get people from Pennsylvania, from New Jersey, from Vermont, from Massachusetts that attend that show.
Cool.
Yep.
A few weeks ago, I was like, this is very unique. kind of.
Yep.
I bought something.
Yep.
Wow.
It's approximately 30 vendors every time. She has about 12 that, president runs, his name's Kayla. They have about 12 vendors that are always there, and then everyone else is rotating. There's a wait list to be a vendor at it.
Great.
Yep.
Good. Yeah, the events, unless you can call fish.
Yeah,
Kevin, you call this?
I can call fish. I'll just drive over to Vermont and knock on the door.
Not that far.
It's not.
You really can't compare year to year, right?
Yeah,
Because all that shows up. It's how you budget it, right? How you forecast.
Yeah, and the shows are announced in waves. The arena has not announced its fall, winter. I'm expecting it probably next week after they're done with CrossFit.
Yeah.
But that's what makes it the hardest thing to forecast, is because we'll know some of winter, like we'll know Q1, maybe part of the early part of Q2 by December of this year. But then we have no idea unless I hear rumors or someone shoots me a line that like a giant thing is coming at the end of the year.
They didn't have it all their, big, event this year.
Yeah.
You gotta have something,
I think there'll probably be one more big thing at the arena.
yeah.
I don't know what it is, but I think there might be one.
Good, okay. Thank you.
Yep.
EV charger update.
So usage at the EV chargers, we had a pretty good June. It's a $372 increase from prior year, mostly at Quackenbush and Riverfront Garage. Recently we had a spark in interest in introducing, an idling fee. The city has an idle fee on their chargers. We're starting to find that folks they're starting to use the EV spaces to be able to park in all day long. They are charging their vehicles, but it might only need about a couple of hours, and then they're parking there all day. So, we're gonna we want to dive deeper into it to see what the trend actually is. And, we're planning on introducing that to 2 out of the 3 garages, which would be Riverfront and, Greenhouse.
I remember we talked about that many times before, the possible issue.
Yeah. So now that they're getting utilized more,
Right.
it's definitely,
If people are making a stop along the way.
Right.
They can't get there because someone's leaving their car all day.
On the app that's available to about where the charging stations are, does that show that they're being actively used. So you're driving along I-90 and you need to
Right,
charge.
recharging. I think some of them do that. I'm not sure that BTC or even Connect does that rather than just tell you where they are.
Cause you gotta pay to, you gotta get in and find out they're all full. That's kind of awkward.
Yeah, but the good thing is that we have a pretty fair grace time, so if they're just there to charge and they're full, they can leave it out having to pay. I mean, it's an inconvenience if they have to come in, but
Right.
Still, we don't want that.
right, at least we're not charging them for just looking.
How often does that happen?
I don't think it's happening.
No, I don't
very
mean the
often.
turnaround. I mean that somebody leaves it in.
It's happening more often that it's happening often enough that we're starting to notice and we got a phone call about it. So, and, you know, and we wouldn't really notice or pay attention much because of the utilization. But, now that we're seeing that Green Hudson and Riverfront, that they're getting full, you know, the idle fee is gonna start to make more sense, because we're gonna want turnover in those spaces for other people to utilize the space.
What do you think, what are you thinking in terms of the idle fee?
Yeah, so the city's idle fee is like, I wanna say it's like $50 if you stay at like a half hour after or something like that. I don't,
Significant?
yeah, I don't wanna be that hard.
Is there any way to know, have a contact for the car? In other words, can you send an email to somebody saying your car's full, get it out of there?
If it's a monthly, we could. If it's a daily, we wouldn't have any info on it. Nor would, you know, we don't like to look up plates to do that either.
So give me an example of a city EV charger, where are they?
There's one in Richfield Park, there's one at Bleecker.
Okay, so I park my car at Bleecker,
Mhm.
and I walk away, and once it's done charging, half hour later, it starts a meter.
No, it's a
I think
flat
it
50.
just charges you. But their fee will just charge it like the $50 flat for being there, from what I understand. I don't wanna do something like that. I think I would do something more in like the timed realm where, you know, we charge you X amount every hour, or every half an hour
Yeah,
that you're over.
Does he have to
But-
notify you that your car is?
I don't know if it does, to be
It does.
honest, 'cause we haven't done that. Well, it does.
It does.
Charged, you will be charged this going.
Well, that's
Yeah.
good. I mean, you know, 'cause we still have to look into all that to see if we, you know,
Yeah.
how we wanna go
Because
about
if you can
it.
do something like that, right, so when the person's notified, and then a half hour later, you start metering it or.
Yeah,
Cause a flat fee like that, I'm not going to that charger, cause I might something might happen, and I'm
Sure.
not be there, I'm gonna pay another $50, I'm gonna go someplace else.
but I wanna check
We
with a
don't want
bunch
that
of,
to, you know what I mean,
Right.
I mean, disincentive
Yeah.
to use.
I wanna see what other municipalities charge, and, they're kind of close by, and maybe we'll adopt that, or. you
But
know.
it still has
But
to
on
be
the other hand,
more.
the speed cameras and the school cameras, that's a $50 charge, and apparently that, you know, I've heard anecdotally, people really care about.
Yeah,
They
you
don't
mean
care about-
paying the fee?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's $50.
Are they still sending waivers though, or are they just still like notifying?
No, I
No.
care.
Everybody in
People are
my
gonna
family
take it
gets
in.
$50.
We got one where, I know, a friend of mine got one with going out to the food co-op and back, both ways, that's $100.
Well, yeah, so I mean, that's not insignificant.
Right, that,
Yeah.
I'm starting to learn my wife's license plate number by heart.
Oh, that's a lot of tickets. Yeah.
Okay, moving right along.
But yeah, also with the EV chargers, we were looking into, increasing the fee by a couple pennies, per kilowatt hour as well, just to follow the, increase in our electrical bill. We like to stay, I
Yep.
wanna say like 8% within that. So, Daria and I and, Devin are looking into, if that's doable. Well, we know it's doable, but just to make sure we're doing the right thing, and, I don't think anybody's really gonna notice a couple pennies,
What isn't going up right now?
right?
Blame it on tariffs.
Yeah, I just hate to raise stuff.
And I'm-
for-
Yeah,
supply chain.
but also, you'll come up with a solution to the other issue, I'm sure.
Yeah,
But yeah, anyway, okay.
that's all I had about chargers. If anybody had any questions?
That's a lot of charges.
Yeah, Well, Jen likes it, so.
Any, any other questions?
Appreciate
Grants update.
Grant updates, ESD, we're still in the paperwork process with them, hoping to get paid this year, and I will keep everybody.
That's
Well informed.
2025, is that not
What's that?
this year, 2025?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, just break it down.
We're hoping. We got rejected for the build grant, which, you know, we kind of expected that, but.
It's okay.
It's all right.
Mhm.
We're applying for two new grants. One is a parks, grant for the dog park. We'd like to try to get that paid for, as well as, the heated sidewalks and electrical room upgrade. Just to remind the board about the heated sidewalks, we went out to bid for that for 3 garages. We did award a contractor for 2 out of the 3 garages. The contractor did not do his due diligence, did not realize, how significant of an electrical upgrade that we needed. We had to retract the award. Now we're planning on going back out to bid to get the electrical upgrades and the heated sidewalks on at all of the garages this time around, especially if we're going to apply for a grant to do so. It's not for the full boat. It's for a percentage of the sidewalks, or a percentage of the projects. We're still going to be able to use some bonding funds for this as we set aside before. It's just going to be a lot more expensive than it was the first time around. I'm expecting it to be around the 1 million mark, not the 750,000 mark that we originally had intended. It's still okay in my opinion. We're still gonna, if we get to do all 3 garages, you know, we still get to tackle the safety issue, the labor issue, all that good stuff. So I think it's a good investment.
Okay,
And we'll keep you guys posted on that.
yeah.
I think we got a better shot at these other 2 grants than we did the build grant, so.
Is this through the CFAs?
What's that?
Through the CFA
Yeah,
process?
And other entities are supportive, sent us support letters, including the mayor. So
Great.
we have high hopes this time around. Oh, and we're applying for a Market New York grant. We want to hold a 10-year celebration of art murals that we've done. We're approaching on 10 years of when we started murals, which was the Bluebirds. So we thought it'd be kind of cool to.
That'd be great.
Yeah. Which I'll make sure you guys are invited 10 minutes before that event starts.
That'd be about right. Consistency is important, but great, that would be a nice thing to.
Yeah.
Promote. Okay, any unfinished business? that we haven't covered?
Sir, I have none.
Board members have anything they can bring up? Okay, I would like to go into executive session.
Executive session is the discussion regarding proposed, pending, or current litigations.
Excellent, okay. Good, we have to go motion, get into, go into executive session, or to leave this meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Yeah.
Good. Can I get a motion to exit executive session?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Thank you, we're out of executive session, after the regular board meeting. No action was taken during executive session. Any further business to come before the board this morning?
None from them, sir.
Could I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Thank you, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much, everybody. Appreciate it.